Hi, everyone. I wanted to get on and just release some thoughts and release just a release section from everything that's going on in the news, everything that's going on within your home, from everything that's going on within your workplace to down to the task of raising a family, down to the task of surrounding yourself with other people. This is a moment in time that we all have to bring correction to ourselves. And what that really means is that there's going to be a ton of distraction that's going to take place in the coming days, in the coming months. And it's not saying that it's something just drastically is going to take place in the world, but it may be something that drastically take place within your own self, your own being. And some of the things that may take place within your own being is just a reconnection to yourself. And many have lost, and many are still trying to find that connection within themselves. And that process is sometimes drowned out by the noise from our daily routines, our daily hustle and bustle, our daily grinding of trying to, or not even trying, but implementing the things that we have a desire to implement in our lives. So there's so much conflicting things that are happening around us that it's like a stumbling block in our way of getting to know ourselves. So within the coming months and the coming years and even the coming seconds of you moving forward and identifying those things that has become a stumbling block in your current situation, there needs to be a lot of self-evaluation. And the only way that you could do a self-evaluation, you have to be open to allowing yourself to see a different side of you that you have never seen. And in order for you to do that, you really need to become open and honest with yourself. So it's kind of weird to say, how am I not open and honest with myself? You're not open and honest with yourself when you're in the process or in the realm of denying things of yourself. Meaning that if you're constantly denying that, say for instance you was hungry and you know that your stomach is growling, and that's usually a sign that you're hungry or indication that you're hungry, and you're constantly telling yourself, "Oh, my stomach is not growling." That means now you're denying that, one, your stomach is growling, and two, that you are really hungry. That's just like when you look at yourself and you're reevaluating yourself. You cannot deny your true, authentic feelings in reference to yourself. When you deny your true, authentic feelings in reference to yourself, you're denying yourself the growth process to move forward. You denying yourself the space to be able to expand who you are as an individual. And when you deny yourself the space to grow as an individual, you allow society, you allow your circumstances, you allow your setbacks, you allow people who are close to you, and you allow people that you don't even know who they are to begin to define who you are, to define the career path you should go on, to define what's considered your family, to define what you consider happiness, to define every aspect of your life that doesn't have anything to do or any type of connection necessarily to you. So when the time comes for you to really tune into you, that's one of the crucial moments of your life that needs to be really paid attention to. It's the step that you can't overlook. It's like, it's that one step that you can't just skim through the manual and say, oh, I got it. No. We've been skimming through the steps of our lives from childhood. We've been programmed. We've been picking up different things from different people, from television, and different perspectives of books and everything that can possibly try to reprogram our brain one way than what we really are. We've been picking it up and running with it. But now is the time that you really need to run with who you really are. Who are you? What defines you? What truly defines joy for you? What really defines relationships for you? What defines the career path that you've chosen? Those are answers and thought-provoking, a thought process that needs to be done alone. Those are answers that can only be answered from you and not someone else. You can't just depend on someone that may know you and be like, well, so-and-so says I'm this way, and I think I'm that way. That's not who you are. That's not who you really are. You just a perspective of what someone else sees. But you with yourself on a daily basis. And sometimes we can be with ourselves on a daily basis. And guess what? We still don't know who we are. We're still trying to figure out this whole being that however old you are, you've been with yourself forever. And you're still trying to define this person. You're still trying to define your character. You're still trying to define your inner person. It's like you feel it. You feel that inner person. You feel that inner connection within yourself, but you don't know how to tap really into that individual. You really haven't hit it on the head, meaning that you haven't hit the hammer to the nail head to get it into the wall or to get it into whatever object you're building to make it sturdy. You haven't hit that nail on the head. But now it's time to do that. It's time to really bathe with understanding of who you are. Bathe in the understanding of what you need. Bathe in the understanding of what you truly desire. Bathe in the understanding of who you are as an individual. Overall, who you are as an individual. And that takes time. That takes patience with yourself. That takes you diving into who you really are as a person. All those things takes time, and all those things takes on a whole new concept in your head. It's just something totally different that happens when you just start really tuning in to yourself. For instance, how many people can literally stand in the mirror and look themselves deeply in the eye, as if you're staring deeply within your own soul? How many people can actually do that and feel comfortable doing it? How many people can just go stand in the mirror and just like really zoom in to yourself? Really zoom in and a connection like you would want to connect eye to eye with someone else. How many people can actually do that and not feel weird or feel like, oh, I did it for a couple seconds and I'm good? No. How many people can actually stand in the mirror and stare yourself in the eye and like really connect with yourself. Yeah, I know it sounds weird and it sounds strange, but if you can't do it for yourself, why would you even expect somebody else to do it with you? Why would you want someone else to connect so deeply with you and you cannot connect so deeply with yourself? That's what's going on. A lot of people are trying to connect with so many other people but neglecting themselves. And when you neglect yourself, you bring in a whole mess of who you are because you don't even know who you are. And now you bring in this whole mess of who you are not really and connecting with somebody else that don't know who they really are. And it's just a whole mess of two individuals. So when you get really comfortable and really zoned into really edifying and knowing who you are, you can edify anybody you come in contact with. It won't even be an issue. It won't even be a problem. You could be speaking life into someone else that you never met because you already have connected with yourself. And that connection that you have with yourself, that individual who you're coming in contact with connects with that being of who you are. And it's just like a ray of light that illuminates the room. Because you're walking in now, you're not walking in subconsciously walking in like, oh, I hope they don't recognize this mole on my eye, or oh, I hope they don't recognize that I didn't get a haircut. I hope they don't recognize that I didn't get my hair done, type of thing. No, you can walk in that room with bold confidence because you matter. You matter. No matter what somebody else may try to find a flaw on you, guess what? You have embraced every flaw within your being. So when somebody come at you with some off the wall thing or saying or thought about you, you already know that it's not truth. So when you know it's not truth, you don't have to defend something that's not truth. You don't have to defend it. If they say, oh, dude, or oh, girl, your eyes are crossed. You know your eyes are not crossed. You don't have to defend that. You don't even have to have an argument with that. You're like, whatever. Just let that stuff roll up off you and move and keep it moving. Because they cannot break you. People can only break you when you don't know who you are. People can only break you when you have not even embraced your own flaws. People can then break you. But they can't break a person who has spent the time identifying themselves. They can't break a person who have taken the necessary steps to be patient with themselves, to let go of such and such wanted me to go into law, or such and such wanted me to go into medicine, or such and such wanted me to do this, and that's the career path that I chose because that's what such and such, or the path that other people have, or what people had planned in their heads for me because they couldn't do it for themselves. So they put their wishes and dreams on me, and I fulfilled those dreams and wishes. And you're miserable. You don't even want to do it. You don't even want to be in that position. But when you tune and give yourself patience and time to let go of living the status quo of someone else's dreams and someone else's hype, and you tune into living your status quo, your dreams, and who you really are, you are going to be the bomb, and everything you touch is going to just be blessed because you're doing it because you really want to do it. You're doing it because that's what's satisfying to you. You're doing it because that's what that makes you smile inside, and that makes you smile on the outside, and that resonate within your whole total being of who you are. And no one can take that away from you. No one or nothing can take that away from you. We have so much going on, especially in the Black, brown, and community, because so many people want to define who we are. They want to label us as this and they want to label us as that. And sometimes we put those labels on our back and we wear them. We wear them because it's like a war wound or something, like, oh, I had carried this for so long and look at me type of thing. No, you don't got to carry that mess. You don't got to walk that path and that talk, because that wasn't destined for you. You let somebody else put that on you. And so now you walking it and you're carrying it with pride, but your insides is tearing up because that's not who you are. You don't even identify with that label. But you walked it for so long and you become comfortable with it, and it's like your clutch or your crutch, and you're constantly carrying it and leaning on it to bring strength. That's not strength. That's you broken. That's you as a broken individual. And in order for you not to be broken, you really it's the need to know who you are. When you listen to people talk, when you look at the storylines and you hear the lifestyles and the stories from people past to their presence, it's everything comes to full circle of, do they really know themselves? What type of relationship do they have with themselves? Are they still defining who they are as a person? Are they really walking that walk that they speak about? It boils back to yourself. And you might hear these powerful men and women in these high positions say the same thing over and over, and then they come right back down to it. It all boils back down to you. No matter what accolades I've come into, no matter how many people know my name, or no matter how much presence in the world I have, it all boils down back to that individual. And sometimes you can have a ton of people following you and you still don't know yourself. Sometimes you can have the biggest platform of all time, you still don't know yourself. We always want to define ourselves as a superhero, meaning we're still in the process of denying ourselves. We put on a superhero cape and we're still in the process of denying ourselves. Oh, I'm Superwoman, or I'm Superman, or I'm Iron Man, or whoever the character is. I'm Catwoman, whatever it is. We always want to define ourselves as something else than what we really are. And soon as someone asks you, who are you? Your words, you stumble over those words. You have this long pause because you can't even answer that question. Or you hit them with I'm an independent woman. I'm a strong Black man. You hit them with those same words that's so consistently spread across every generation that a baby can start quoting those things because everybody's saying it, right? Everybody's saying it. I'm a strong Black woman. I'm independent. I'm a boss. I don't like the word, but I'm a boss bitch. And I'm like, what does that really mean? Like, can you really tell me what that means? What does that tell me about you? What does that really mean? Who are you? Who are you? Have you taken the time to really find out who are you? If I was to walk up to you today or tomorrow, or someone else just randomly walked up to you and like, who are you? What would you tell them? What words would you define yourself as? Who are you? Sounds simple, right? Who are you? Can you tell me who you are? Can you really tell a person who you are? Without that long, awkward pause. It's not a pause because you're just making sure that the words that's going to proceed out your mouth is exactly what you want to be heard. No, it's a long pause because you really don't know the answer to that question. You have no clue to the answer. But you know it's weird and it's awkward if you don't say something. So you're going to hit them with, I'm a strong Black woman. I'm independent. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm this. I'm an author. Shoot, you could say I'm a painter. What does it really mean? So basically this boils down to, in order for you to truly exist amongst anyone, in a marriage, in a relationship, as a parent, I'm not a parent, but as a parent, as an aunt, as an uncle, as a friend, whatever it is, you must know who you are. You must be comfortable with who you are. You must be super honest to the extent that she might make your own self cry how honest you are about yourself. You got to get down to the bottom of who you are and truly embrace it. Other people may not be able to accept it. That's fine. That's their right to do that. Everybody has a right to agree to disagree. But for you personally, your next steps is going to rely heavily on how much you know about yourself. How much you can live with yourself. Yeah, it sounds crazy because you can't, there's no way of escaping yourself. Which many have tried. They tried it with alcohol. They tried it with drugs. They tried it with sex. Whatever you use as a fix to separate yourself from being alone. Many have tried that. It didn't work. Because what you're trying to do is remove yourself from you and put the shield on for that little spark of a moment in time. And that does not do any good to yourself or nor anyone that's around you. So I personally challenge you. To find out who you really are. At least have a response to someone's question of who you are. And once you get that part of who you are, I want you to go a little step further. And that step further is embracing those flaws that don't no one know you have about yourself. Embrace those flaws. And when you embrace those flaws, they're going to be like a huge attribute to you. People are going to compliment that. I had an issue with the broadness of my nose. And that was a long time ago, but I've really embraced it. I absolutely love my nose. I had a friend when I was in undergrad. This is back in the years of Black Planet. And I met this guy on Black Planet, and we was like really good friends through the computer, of course. But we would talk every night, and we would go back and forth through emails, and we would send each other scriptures and stuff, and just be like we was really cool. And he said to me one time, and I never told him that I had one of my flaws was the broadness of my nose, and he was like, you know what? Your nose complements your face, and even your smile. It complements your face and your smile. And I was like looking and like, you know what? That is really true. For me, it's true. And then I started from there, just started to pay more attention to me, pay more attention to what I was giving me, I started paying more attention to what I considered was a flaw. And I started embracing those things that I considered was a flaw. I started embracing those things. that I love every flaw that I called or considered was a flaw for me. I love it. I love every bit of it. And even things that I'm still learning, because you're going to still be learning about yourself. Don't get me wrong. This does not stop when you start embracing certain areas of your life. Nope. Every day we wake up, it's a new day to change. It's a new growth process. You're encountering something new and you're learning something new every day about yourself. But the greatest thing of it all is that you have opened yourself to be willing to know who you are. And then when you become one that choose, if you decide to get in a relationship and you decide to bring someone else in your space, you are okay with that person still getting to know themselves. Or you are okay with that person at his or her process of where they are in their learning stages of who they are now. And when you're there, your judgment won't be as harsh on that person as it would have been if you had not even taken that time to even figure yourself out. Everyone is constantly figuring each other out. We're constantly figuring out who we are. We're constantly learning about us. It's a never-ending process. So enjoy it. Enjoy the process and just be patient with yourself. Be patient with yourself. Get out your own way. Get out your head. And walk right into it. And enjoy the process. Just enjoy it. There's going to be some really great days you're going to have. And there's going to be some really hard times you're going to have. But whichever way those days come, embrace them. Embrace the good days just as if you would just the same as you would in celebrating anybody else's life. Embrace those down days just as you would celebrating those good days. Because if you are in that position to feel what you're feeling at that moment, you are in a position to get yourself out of that moment. Feel the moment. Acknowledge the moment. Understand why you're there. Receive whatever lesson it is for you to gain at that stage. But don't settle there. Don't get comfortable there. Don't relax. Don't take your coat off. Don't take your shoes off. Don't even take your clothes off in that stage. Because that stage can lead you to deep depression, which will cause you to have to work a little harder to get out of. But even if you get to that deep depression, you have to know, and you need to know, I should say, and you need to believe you can get out of it. You just got to let it go and just move forward. Let it go and accept where you are. Feel the moment. Embrace that moment for where you are and let it go. It's just like you crying for 5 minutes or something like that. Or if that's what you need to do, cry for your 5 minutes. Get it out. But don't lay there. Don't stay there. Get back up and just move on to the next stage. Because you don't want to put yourself in a rut. And you don't want to stagnate your growth. We're in a position of growth. We're in a position of understanding. And we are in a position to expand. Once we expand who we are, nothing that's going on in society can hinder us or block us from what we need to do. And right now it's a lot going on, especially in reference to Black and brown individuals. It don't even matter what gender you are no more, or how fluent you are, or what's the new term, flowing or flow. I don't know. But whatever you identify as, it's the same. As long as you're in this shell, it's the same. So start digging deep. Get ready for your next move. Position yourself for greatness and move forward. No matter if it's not perfect, it's all right. Life happens and growth happens. And every step you take is another step towards that goal that you have for yourself. So, if you like this video, like the feedback, well, if you haven't said anything and you're listening to this after it's been posted, comment. I comment, share your thoughts, share your opinion. If you have any questions and you don't want to share it on this thread, it's all right to inbox me. But if you like it, I would really appreciate it if you share, and that's not really the purpose of this video. However, if it can help someone else that you know, I know it's kind of long-winded, but if it can help someone that you know, please go ahead and share it. And again, just challenge yourself to get into a more deeper relationship with yourself so that you can be the best person showing up in whatever relationship you choose to be in. So you all have a nice night. I'll talk to you soon.